he said it. He opened it. I think he owns it. And I think a lot of Americans believe that there was probably some wiretapping going on, as well as moles that were embedded. It's the left's opposition to anything and everything Trump. They want him out. Every news outlet that I watch, they're asking for his impeachment. They're asking for his head. And at the end of this investigation, if they can emphatically prove without a doubt, 100%, that Russia meddled directly, into our electoral process with the ballot, which now everybody's saying it didn't affect votes, but any illegal cooperation or conspiracy to cheat or deceive anybody or anything of that sort, collaboration of scheming, there has to be collusion proven 100%. With Trump personnel, with Donald Trump himself. I don't see how I don't see it happening. I don't see it sticking. I think this is the left's last chance to prove illegitimacy of the Trump administration altogether. They want to rid him, and so they'll do all and everything that they can. Neil Gorsuch, Capitol Hill, another hearing today, day 2. I think he's a good man. I've listened to a lot of it this morning before coming on the broadcast, and I want you to hear a little about what Neil had to say this morning. But I'll tell you, I think he's an upfront guy. I don't think that he would be politically swayed no matter what Donald Trump or Barack Obama himself or whoever. I think he would be true. So here's Neil Gorsuch this morning.
I have offered no promises on how I'd rule in any case to anyone, and I don't think it's appropriate for a judge to do so, no matter who's doing the asking. And I don't because everybody wants a fair judge to come to their case with an open mind and to decide on the facts and the law. One of the facts and one of the features of law that you have to decide it on is on the basis of precedent, as you point out. And for a judge, precedent is a very important thing. We don't go reinvent the wheel every day. And that's the equivalent point of the law of precedent. And we have an entire law about precedent, the law of judicial precedent about precedent, if you will. And that's what that 800-page book's about. It expresses a mainstream consensus view of 12 judges from around the country appointed by, as you point out, presidents of both parties, great minds. Justice Breyer was kind enough to write a foreword to it. It makes an excellent doorstop. And in it, we talk about the factors that go into analyzing precedent, any consideration of precedent. And there are a bunch of them. You've alluded to some of them. The age of the precedent, very important factor. The reliance interests that have built up around the precedent. Has it been reaffirmed over the years? What about the doctrine around it? Has it built up, shored up, or has it become an island, as you point out? Those are all relevant considerations. Its workability is a consideration, too. Can people figure out how to abide it? Or is it just too confusing for the lower courts and their administration? Those are all factors that a good judge will take into consideration when examining any precedent. You start with a heavy, heavy presumption in favor of precedent in our system. Alexander Hamilton said that's one important feature. I think it was Hamilton. Said one important feature of judges, if we're going to give them life tenure and allow them that extraordinary privilege, they should be bound down by strict rules and precedents. Francis Bacon called precedent the anchor of the law. So you start with that heavy presumption in favor of precedent. You consider those factors in that light. And yes, in a very few cases, you may overrule precedent. It's not an inexorable command, the Supreme Court has said. That's the law of precedent, as I understand it, and I believe is expressed in that book with my very highly respected colleagues.
As a lower court judge, you're bound by not only Supreme Court precedent, but as you've demonstrated, the precedent of your own court. But as a Supreme Court justice, part of your job will be to decide when existing Supreme Court precedent need not be reconsidered. How will you decide when you revisit existing precedent?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think the considerations change. It's the same analysis that I would have as a Supreme Court justice, if I'm fortunate enough to be confirmed, that I have when I'm considering circuit precedent as a circuit judge. It's the exact same process. The exact same rules apply.
Supreme Court nominee Gorsuch facing hours of questioning from senators on Capitol Hill today. We've been monitoring it, and I wanted to give you a little flavor of how it's sounding, but I think he's going to certainly have favor after all of this. I think he's going to be nominated. I think he's going to be exceptional. Some people think he's going to be just nothing to fear, nothing to worry about, and the left is what they're doing. And I think questions are fair. They just want to make sure that he's not going to be able to be used by Donald Trump. And he shouldn't be used by any president. He should just be able to interpret the Constitution. And again, these judges should not be activist judges. They should act fairly and uphold the law and the Constitution and nothing more. Unfortunately, we've seen all too well across the country where we have activist judges that decide to be politically swayed and used, and all these favors they're wrought, and that's how the game worked, and that's how it's happened. It's unfortunate, but that's how Washington has been, and that's why there's been so much corruption. You do us a favor, we're going to do you a favor, and then when they get some dirt on you, that's something else. And they got something on you, they can use that as political leverage. You ever watch the TV show called Scandal on NBC? It'll give you some real understanding of how that works. And it's not a fun game at all. And it's a nasty place. And if you've spent any time, believe me, careers can be brought down in a second. You don't cross people in Washington. There's a lot of power there. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they misuse their position, their office. And that's not a good thing at all. And this is supposed to be servants for the American people. And Donald Trump reconnected in Kentucky yesterday. Great rally. Did a terrific job. By the way, when we come back, we're going to talk about the left and what Tucker Carlson pretty much had to endure to come out of yesterday. Last night on his broadcast, Tucker Carlson tonight. You're going to have to stick around for this. This is pretty wild, but this is the left, and this is their thinking. Tucker's such a nice guy, but believe me, he can be a bulldog when released. You're going to like this. Representative Eric Swedals claims that Russia committed an act of war against the U.S. by hacking the election. Well, Tucker and him when we come back on For the People. Don't go anywhere. Our website, by the way, forthepeopleshow.com.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. For the people. For the people. For the people is there.
Here's a message to every rapist, domestic abuser, violent criminal thug, and every other monster who preys upon women. Maybe you've heard the stories about millions of us flocking to gun stores and gun ranges for the first time, the second time, and the 100th time. Here's what that means for despicable cowards like you. Your life expectancy just got shorter. Because there's a very good chance your next target will be armed, trained, and ready to exercise her right to choose her life over yours. This is what real empowerment looks like. Millions of American moms, grandmothers, and professional women taking our lives and our families' lives into our own capable hands. I'm the National Rifle Association of America, and I'm freedom's safest place.
The internet is a big place, but 123 Ready TV has made it easy to start enjoying all of the current movies you enjoy and those movie classics. What if I told you that you could start streaming everything now and all the latest movies for just $19.99? And it's a one-time charge, not monthly. 123 Ready TV is a media app that you can have on your PC or your Android phone. You see, this app allows you to stream movies and TV shows, weather, and anything you already have on your PC or your phone or on the internet. Plus, no commercials. Find out why so many people are using this amazing media player. Start saving money and start enjoying all your favorite TV shows now and movies for just a one-time payment of $19.99. To get yours, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com and click on the store page for your 123 Ready TV. For the People has a special opportunity for you. If you own a business and want to gain a national audience that is loyal and will do business with you, imagine being able to get your product and or service into the hands of tens of thousands of people each week. Sponsorship opportunities are now available at rates you can afford. Finally, the show you love with your business supporting what we do in partnership. Start running your commercials today. To contact us, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. For the People is on the air for you. Each day we strive to tell it to you straight, not watered down, so you can know what's going on each day. Our show is different from many of the others on air. We're not afraid of the PC police, and we explain our position, at the same time understanding the left's position and what we can do to further a conservative agenda for America. For the People is listener-supported and relies on listeners like you to help us get the word out. So, if you like what we do and want to help For the People, sign up today at our website at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Your support allows us to report the news fearlessly and guarantees our survival on the air. As a thank you, we'll send you our monthly newsletter with commentary and money-saving tips. Can we count on your support? Thank you for helping America. To become a For the People member, log on to forthepeopleshow.com now. And back on your radio, I'm your host, Keith Allen, and you're tuned to For the People. Thanks for joining us today. So Tucker Carlson, he replaced Greta Van Susteren, and has a great show. And, you know, he started off with Fox and Friends and been doing his thing and doing a great job. And he really does a good job interviewing people. I think he sets people at ease, and then he kind of craftily, I think he's very professional when as a journalist, kind of the journalistic skills. I believe as an attorney, but he can go in for the kill, kind of knows how to do it. And I want you to listen in, but it's battling the left with the thinking about Russian hacking and how he handled this about possibility of striking back at Russia with military force and all of this other stuff. He kind of brings clarity, which I love about Tucker, and that's what you can enjoy about the show, common sense, and I like the common sense approach with Tucker Carlson. Here he is.
What should we make of all of this? How close are we to war with Putin? Joining us now is Congressman Art Swalwell of California. He's a member of the House Intelligence Committee. He was there all day at the hearings, at which he declared, I'm quoting, "We were attacked by Russia." Congressman, thanks for joining us. So we were attacked by Russia. So the real question is, how do we respond? And so let's get specific. Yeah. Do you think we should use long-range or short-range ICBMs?
We should use long-range sanctions on Russia. We should expand the sanctions that we have. We should continue to investigate what they did. And today we learned from the FBI director, contrary to what you said, there was new information that there are members of the Trump team who are under criminal and counterintelligence investigations for their role in Russia's interference.
I was aware of that, and I think most of us were. But leaving, wait, hold on. I want to take what you say seriously. Okay, I do. I absolutely do. You said we were attacked by Russia. That's not a small thing.
Yes.
An attack doesn't just invite a counterattack, it demands one, else you reveal your fundamental weakness and get attacked again. So my question is, Carrier Strike Group 9 is the closest to Vladivostok right now. Should they be mobilized immediately? Should we notify our European allies that their natural gas supply is about to be cut off? What is our next step in our counterattack.
I'll tell you what our next step should not be. It should not be a warmer embrace of Russia, as the president clearly has intimated he wants to do. The sanctions should get tougher. We should expand NATO's role, not contract it. And we should talk tough with Russia. And right now, we have a Secretary of State who received the Order of Friendship from Russia. Tucker, Russia is not our friend. And not just for Cold War.